we are ready to get started with the next presentation for VeloCon 2023. And I'm really excited about this one because this is we're doing a first here for VeloCon. This is our first presentation by a woman. She's actually the first of two ladies that we have this year giving us presentations. So really excited. Before I hand it off to Semanur, let me just give you a little intro on her. She's coming to us from IMPERUM. She is a former SOC analyst and incident responder. She has experience in building and managing security operations centers and security automation. These days, she serves as a product owner at integration..io. She is dedicated to creating more effective SOCs that proactively defend against cyber threats. So without further ado, Semanur, please take it away.
Hello, Carlos. Is my voice clear?
Yeah, you're coming in just fine.
Okay, let me share my screen then. Today I will talk about empowering SOC Analysts with Velociraptor and revolutionizing live response and automation. Actually, as Carlos mentioned, I'm a former SOC analyst and incident responder. Nowadays, we are building a product called IMPERUM at IMPERUM.io, and our motivation is to design a SOC platform to help to create more effective SOCs in the world. So today my agenda is like this. I will mention the live response and how Velociraptors bring new features at this area and how we integrated Velociraptor in our product. And I will talk about a playbook and some use cases, and I will share our roadmap at the end. As you may all know that there are traditional approaches in incident response area, but they have limitations because in those environments, like we say, big companies, there are so many clients or endpoints. That's why it often involves manual task or time-consuming tasks. That's why we need to adapt the new cyber attacks in our nature. That's why we need live response tools like Velociraptor. And live response is for us the ability to access and analyze digital evidences on endpoints. And this the thing that SOC analysts want actually, because SOC analyst has many guides or many screens in front of her or him. That's why we need a single glass of pane in our security operations center to effective incident response processes. And Velociraptor gives us the amazing thing, the VQL, because VQL gives us to adapt our methodologies very quickly and very flexible. Also, there's a nice community around there because there are so many artifacts in artifact exchange area. Also, I am a big fan of Discord Velociraptor's server, and we have so many shares here. Also, the Velociraptor's isolation, I mean the remediation and quarantine artifacts is a big plus for incident response processes. As you can see in Velociraptor's interface, we can actually execute PowerShell commands, CMD commands, and bash commands or VQL commands in there easily. And this is a great thing for SOC analysts to achieve and to reach the endpoints, this kind of, and execute the right commands and give results. So these are in IMPERUM, we like to help SOC analysts, and we designed our product from a SOC analyst perspective. And you can see our high-level architecture architecture here, and in IMPERUM, the FIR module we used, and we use the power of Velociraptor here to hunt cases or to respond cases easily. And I will share some screens about our FIR module, and that's why, because our mission is here to enable swift resolution of security incidents and the close response gaps today EDRs have. As you may know, the security operation and orchestration platforms mainly talks with each other around with recipes, and in IMPERUM, we wanted to change this because in SOC platform, mainly we need endpoints, and we need endpoint logs, we need endpoint processes. And with Velociraptor, we designed to speak with processes for the incidents or cases. You can see our modules screen here, and there are agents part here. You can see the Velociraptor agents here, which is installed on endpoints, and I will share the details here. So we use the power of VQL here, as I said. For example, there is a agent here, like Fedora server, and we can use the VQL as select info.systems. We can check the all information about the client that we want, and also it supports to isolate here with the in Velociraptor. There is Windows and Linux and macOS remediation quarantine parts, and it's prepared with a label. So here we need to create, set or remove labels for endpoints, and we use the server APIs features here to isolate, I mean the quarantine, and we call as isolate here, and we can easily isolate or remove isolation in this part with Velociraptor's label design. And this is the part of the terminal execution in IMPERUM. You can use the Velociraptor's terminal execution feature here. You may write the wanted command here, like get computer info in PowerShell, and we fetch the results from our Velociraptor server, and right here, this we prepared this screen to use the artifact system.flow.completion, and we check the environment variable here to check the PowerShell or CMD or Bash artifacts. Also, you can run artifacts from the screen easily. For example, for Windows endpoint, we have 3 artifacts here. And when I run the Windows network listening ports artifacts here, I can see the results here and with specific clients. Also in the screen, we show the CPU usage and RAM usage because it's important for endpoint area. And this in the artifact basement, there is a artifact generic.client.stats, and we used this artifact to display this graphics. Also, with a server API monitoring feature in Velociraptor, we can easily see the which flows are finished and or which flows are continuing, and we check the flows and flow states from Velociraptor, and to give SOC analysts to see the task or share with other analysts to see what's happening this endpoint and who investigated which kind of artifact. Also, in this after the execution of artifact, some cases it fetches and collects some files in Velociraptor. For example, for a Linux endpoint, there's a Linux network packet capture artifact, and from with VQL you can check it easily. And from uploads, you can use select star from uploads here, and you can see or download or share the pickup file with other people. So the other important part, the Velociraptor that we used in our product is designing or developing a Velociraptor app. And we have our marketplace, and our team developed a Velociraptor app here, and it used the Velociraptor's APIs features. This brings us the centralized incident response and orchestration, or there are plenty of tools and technologies in a security operations center, and you can easily automate it or integrate this kind of technologies with Velociraptor in your playbooks. All you need to is downloading the app and configure your credentials. After that, we have some actions here that Velociraptor brings us, and after that, you can automate and dig deeper to endpoints or servers or anything in your environment. So this our playbook design gives us manual, automatic, or semi-automatic playbooks, and we can use input actions like APIs, webhooks, SSH, or other methods. Also, we have some filtering and decision utilities for this kind of decision-making capabilities. So this is a simple playbook that I prepare for this demo. For example, you get some alert on your casebook or on your incident area, and we have automatic trigger or label trigger or event trigger options, or you just want to manually attach a playbook to case or incident or event. So that's the first point to get and to check which endpoints we have Velociraptor agents. After that, we filter the names or the specific endpoints or specific servers that we need to execute this playbook. And for example, after our incident responses procedures, we need to collect the Windows system startup items. With Velociraptor, we check this artifact, and we get this artifact results in this part. After that, we can format this info easily to check the file names, file hash, or program paths or file paths. If this the file path is the match the thing you searched, you can easily get the artifact Windows remediation quarantine, and you can quarantine your endpoint, and you can end your playbook. So our first use case is a rapid ransomware response. For example, you get a ransomware attack that targets your network, and you want to deep dive the incident, and you want to learn the IOCs. So Velociraptor's role here to deep dive into a compromised machine and collect related artifacts, and your SOC analysts or incident responders determine the IOCs, and you can scan or hunt for IOCs for other suspected machines. So what IMPERUMs or what automation playbooks gets here? For example, You can automate remediation tasks for specific group of endpoint here, or we have databases to collect other previous events or incidents from other machines. You can easily sort and correlate entities for previous event cases with a compromised machine, or you can search is there any traffic from a compromised machine to another machines. Another use case is about advanced persistent threat APT hunting. So you know that you have targeted by an APT in your company, and you have all the threat intels, you have IOCs, you have techniques, etc. And Velociraptor's role here collecting artifacts for suspected endpoints, and IMPERUM's roles here to fetch artifacts results and send it to the FIR teams automatically. And after this thing, the FIR teams can investigate the files or artifact results, also search and correlate entities for previous events and case, and run a predefined incident remediation playbooks for determined case. For example, at the second step, you determine that there is an entity which can be related with APT group, and automatically you can run predefined incident remediation playbooks for these cases. So another case can be about vulnerability assessment. These days, there are plenty of vulnerabilities, and sometimes organizations doesn't know that they have that program or the specific version of the vulnerability, and they need to check that is there any problem about this vulnerability in our endpoints. So in Velociraptors, with VQL, we can prepare an artifact for this specific vulnerability and schedule hunt for critical servers. After that, in IMPERUM, we can fetch results and create cases for this specific critical servers. And with automation and with playbook design, we can automate all communicating and page management procedures in playbook steps. Also integrate with other vulnerability management technologies that you use in your company. This brings us to effectively respond this kind of use cases, and also it's reduce incident response meantime, and gives and empowers SOC Analysts in this kind of cases. So our roadmap at the end of this year to show the community edition to community, also design more real world DFIR use cases with the help of community also. We need sub playbooks here to automate repetitive tasks of forensic examiners' daily tasks. You can use sub playbooks to get rid of this kind of repetitive tasks. Also, we want to add more actions for our app. Also, integrate Velociraptor with our XDR module to automatically run Velociraptor's agent deployment or isolation features with a single button from a single event. Also, as I mentioned, automatic Velociraptor deployment for critical cases is another roadmap point for us. So today, that's all in my presentation, and I would like to answer your questions, and you can contact me anytime if you have questions.
Thank you so much, Semanur. If anyone has any questions for Semanur, please throw them into the Q&A box below. I'll give people maybe just a few seconds if they want to throw something in there. But yeah, just a wonderful presentation. Does anybody have anything for Semanur? Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Semanur. Really appreciate it.
Thank
If you do
you.
get any questions, we'll be sure to filter them over to you. All right. Now we have a few more minutes before our next presentation.